ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the CCP middle-size series Hedora, Toxic version, and DesuGoji, Clear version. Variant-wise, Hedora is stacked from top to bottom. A lot of what you're seeing here has already been released. One or two of them haven't been released yet, or maybe one of them. And Hedora has quite a few exclusives planned. I believe most of these are event or festival exclusives. Very, very cool. Meanwhile, DesuGoji, as far as I can find on HLJ and on the internet, has only had these two releases. The clear pink with metallic paint is coming out next month, while the standard looking one has already been released. But DesuGoji over here is also getting quite a few exclusive releases as well. CCP aren't slowing down with this line. I love that. I'm super happy for them, and I hope at least some of these get an official wide release as well. And up first, let's take a look at these baggies because at least Hedora's differs. Oh my god, I'm only now noticing that there's actually a Godzilla 2023 brand sticker on this. Was that like that on the other ones? The cards up here change in between waves of releases. Dear god, I missed it. Look at that. We've got a Hedora on there. We've got Hedora's name, middle size, whole bunch of stuff going on. Same thing on the back with Hedora Toxic version on the little stickum thing over here. Meanwhile, for DesuGoji, we get the same thing that we got with the two other Gojis from the last review, with what I believe DesuGoji Burning version Clear on the back over here. That rhymed. So up first, let's take a look at Toxic Color Hedora. Kinda looks like Hedora Flame On version, but hey, Toxic, yeah, this looks pretty toxic. Hedora, as you can see, is mostly going to be all red with black and blue, with some black, lifeless eyes. Kinda like a doe's eyes, all black and lifeless. And the detailing on Hedora is really, really nice. It's all stringy and tendrily and drippy. And mostly the same thing will be seen on the back of the figure over here. It definitely looks a little bit less slimy and drippy, a little bit more burnt and swollen and alienish. But the drippiness comes back as we get to the base of the tail and the legs. And oh man, I love the tail. Red, black, and blue on the ends of the tendrils. That is just genius. Thank you, CCP. Finally, some Hedora tail paint love. I really do love how this figure looks, both detail and paint-wise. And even though the sack on Hedora's back isn't as big as it's supposed to be, it's nice that it's still technically there. And I don't know what else to say, fam. This just looks really cool. And it's really nice that we're going to get detail on the underside of Hedora's arms, and on the bottom of its feet, and wouldn't you know it, even on the bottom of the tail. Paint and detail-wise, Toxic Hedora is going to get 2 solid stars. And I especially can't wait for that Nightmare version of Hedora, because that was originally a bigger figure, a series of bigger figures, and now that it's coming to their middle-sized line, I can actually afford it in other things. Anyway, moving on to DesuGoji. Now that is simply fantastic. DesuGoji right off the bat is going to have some golden eyes. No paint on the teeth though, it seems. But we are going to get what looks like a spritz of gold on certain areas. One of those areas being the claws and the biceps over here. Yes, you guessed it, on both sides. Gonna get a little bit on the Goji dongle over here, as well as on the thighs, toes, and kneecaps, it seems. I do think this figure's base color is going to be this bright orange yellow over here, just because there is an exclusive version of this figure coming out where it looks exactly like this, just more orange than red. I do think the red was somewhat sprayed on, maybe? I'm not quite sure what goes into painting these. I love my vinyl figures. I don't exactly know how they're made, but regardless, I do very much dig it. And I do really like how the dorsal fins look too, just the red, the orange, the yellow. On both sides, this just exudes Meltdown Goji energy. And like DesuGoji, I feel the likeness of DesuGoji was very well captured here. Sure, it ain't no X Plus or SH Monster Arts, but still, great looking stuff over here. Oh, looks like there's going to be a spritz of gold on the base of the tail over here too. Unless that was a mistake because it's not present on the opposite side. I mean, I don't care. Gold paint's gold paint. He might look like a piece of hard jelly candy, but at his core, he is a suffering, melting down Goji, filled to the brim with sadness and possibly hot sauce. I'm gonna give Burning Clear DesuGoji over here 2 solid stars in terms of paint and detail. Love the see-through vinyl. Love the paint applications that were added, and unless this was molded in clear red and orange vinyl, and that red isn't the paint application, at least I can fall back on the gold is paint. Right. When it comes to Hedora over here, you will be able to swivel at the head in a very awkward way. As I'm sure many of you saw, the seam is at an angle over here. So when you swivel Hedora, yeah, the head's going to be at an angle. I think it would have been better if it was just a plug so the head could go 360 degrees without looking like that, but that's just me, not complaining, I swear. I swear! The arms will be able to move all the way around. You will have to move the head in some different angles to get this arm going all the way around without it popping out, but it is indeed possible, and it is nice to see that both of the arms are at different angles. It's not just straight flat out Hedora with its arms out, give me hug smudge, you know? So I do very much appreciate that. I mean, it still does kind of look like it's asking for a hug. I mean, just look at that. Want the hug. Give it a hug. We're not gonna get anything at the legs, as you could probably tell since it's all solid, but we will get a swivel at the tail. Excelsior! A solid star for Toxic Hedora and its articulation. Now for DesuGoji. DesuGoji will be able to swivel all the way around at the head, as well as the arms, both sides, yes. And you'll be able to go all the way around at the legs with DesuGoji. But unfortunately, a lot like MireGoji, there will be no articulation at the tail. It's just there to look nice and be accurate to that of Godzilla having a tail. Now, despite the lack thereof a tail swivel, I am still going to give this thing a solid star for articulation because we still get arms, legs, and head. Good enough for me. Let's check out those size comparisons. My love for the CCP middle size series is only getting bigger. I'm loving the molds they're putting out. I'm loving the color schemes that they're coming up with. It's just a very fun line, and yes, as I said last time, I know it's not for everybody. But if you enjoy these molds and you enjoy these color schemes and everything, now's the best time to really get hooked because it seems like the Watergate for releases, be they wide or exclusive, is about to unleash this summer. And I can't wait! Yeah, I'm probably gonna miss out on most of them because some of them are like Toho Cinema exclusives too. But it's just nice knowing that figures like these are still being made and are now being paid at a rather affordable price. And with the release of Space Godzilla coming about, and apparently we're getting a Mecha Godzilla and a few others. Again, this is probably the best time to get hooked on this line because it's only just begun. Still hoping for a Shin Godzilla. Anytime now, CCP, anytime now. And before we cap this off, as I was swiveling the arm, you can kind of see a break in the red over here. Kind of looks like it scraped off at one point, wasn't fully painted, or I just rubbed it off while I was articulating. So this is confirmation. This guy is a see-through orange vinyl with a red paint application over him. There we go. We're done. I'm very happy with Burning Clear DesuGoji and Toxic Hedora. And I'm really happy with Hedora's mold over here. It looked good in the promos, but it looks even better in hand, I feel. And as far as DesuGoji goes, I mean, this is exactly what I want and need in a clear vinyl Meltdown Godzilla figure. Like I said with that Shinjuku Total Advanced version that I talked about last year. This is exactly what I want and exactly what I need, and I want more like this. Plus, I'm a sucker for gold. Anyway, that's about enough out of me. I've been ShinRobjira. Do so hope you enjoyed. Social media, Patreon, $1 a month, access to everything. And when next we meet, it'll either be Necathon Episode 7 or Hammond Collection and Kylosaur. It all depends on when I get my copy of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom in, because, you know, that's important. I need to devote at least 2 days to that. At least. But I still have to work. Anyway, bye.